Hey everybody, Mark here with my entry for the MatterHackers Within Reach contest. In this contest, MatterHackers is looking for elegant ways to use 3D printing to help out people with hand disabilities. I am really excited for this contest and share some of my great ideas and some of my successes with the community. So, looking online, I wanted to know what the core competencies were for everyday life. One thing that we take for granted is eating. So, a spoon and a fork. They're just kind of designed for the hand. They're easy to use, easy to rotate. Could you imagine not having full dexterity of your thumb and your hands and trying to hold objects like this? They'd be very hard. So, I went online, did a little bit of Google searching, and tried to find out what's out there for the everyday person with hand disabilities. The number one design I saw was a band that wrapped around your hand and kept the spoon or the fork right against the palm of your hand. And this is great because you could just let go of your hands and you don't have to be wrapping around it so it would hold it. But this is a horrible, this pronates your wrist, and it's pretty hard to do stuff. If you have something in a bowl, you got to rotate your wrist. It really hurts your wrist, trying to dig down in there. Likewise, if you have a fork and you're trying to dig into it, it's hard this way, but it's easy to rotate back up, so now you're in a neutral position. And if you're doing it opposite, you can stab it, but then you have to somehow rotate your wrist all the way up, and this is hurting the wrist. I do a little bit with ergonomics at work. So I've learned that a neutral position for your wrist is best. What is neutral position? It's having your palms like this. This is neutral. Holding a mouse actually rotates your wrist and does hurt it over time. So having a neutral position is critical. And I didn't see any device that did this. So I came up with these. I call this my power ring. This is designed for my hand. I am actually in the 95th percentile for male hands. But this design was done in SolidWorks, so it can be adjusted this way and this way. I'll post also the 50th percentile for male and female, so anybody can try this out. And how it works is you can even put it on the table, but you can just put your fingers into it and it will pop into your hand. And then just insert an item, a spoon or a fork. There is kind of a little bit of a spring here, and this can be adjusted, thickened, or thinned. And this hole can be adjusted as well for the type of utensils. Now, these are just standard cafe utensils. So stuff with less detail on them is better. How it works is the item is inserted in. For example, this is a spoon, and it sits at a 60-degree angle, so your hand is in a neutral position while you're working or while you're eating. To make this even better, all you have to do is modify the spoon, putting it flat, and look at that. The spoon is almost below your wrist. You have a great area, so when you're trying to eat, your hands aren't going to be in the way, and you can lift it right up into your mouth. Let me do a live demo. Chunkies, Campbell's Chunky Pub-Style Chicken Soup. Who wouldn't love to eat this, right? So here's the Chunky's Campbell Soup. There we go. And the standard way would be to somehow rotate your wrist, grab, dig, and your hand's getting really close here, so now you're bringing it up, and this is easy, but you really want your hand to be in a neutral position. Let's try with this device. All you have to do is lower your wrist into the soup or soft medium and just lift it up and eat it. No rotating the wrist, no pronating, no supinating the wrist. In a nice neutral position, you have good hold. You can with or without your thumb. You don't even need your fingers. You can lift it up, but your thumb does give it a little bit more support if you want it there. And it's easy to eat. There's your wrist isn't rotated around, so. There is the spoon design, and what's great about this, if you print this in ABS, you could even glue this in place and toss it into the dishwasher and clean it just like that. So there is the spoon. Let us take that out. and put the fork in and see how the fork works. The fork, again, just goes right into the device, and you rotate your wrist slightly, or you even could bring this back if you wanted to, and you can clearly see the food. That's nice, because typically if it was like this, you couldn't. If you're holding the fork like this, you couldn't see it. So it gives you better presentation of the food, and you're in a nice, easy position, and rotate and just eat the food. So that is my design and my entry for the contest. What is great about this design is it is really flexible. For example, here is a hook that was made with the same design. This hook can grab stuff, it can lift stuff up, but as well as you can even change the design and hook it down and use it to type. So this power loop right here is a very versatile design. If you guys like what I'm doing, please give me a thumbs up on my YouTube page. If you have any questions or comments, or if you have an idea to help somebody that you know with one of these designs, please reach out to me, and I'd love to help you. Happy printing.